Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, the boys are back. Officially back this time. That's right, Series 4 of Straight to the Apex, Episode 1 is here for your ears and eyeballs. That's right. Formula 1's back. The boys are back. It's all back, baby. It's time for a new season. Time for new races, circuits, drama. Everything you could possibly want from a Formula One podcast right here. Before we get started, please do consider like, share, subscribe and comment. Leave a review where you can leave a review. And the big one, the daddy, the one that we like the most, share the podcast around. If you know someone that likes Formula One, send them this podcast. Be like, got a gift for you. They're like, best present ever. They're back. So let's hear from them. Here we go. This is CookieCast, straight to the apex.
Hello. Hang on. Right. Not being funny, about 2 seconds ago, we genuinely just had this discussion of who's leading it. Right, James, you're leading it, blah, blah, blah. And then straight away, Tony there just thinks, no, fuck you. I'm going for my hat trick.
Look, James, I'm going to be honest. Since he's been on the NFL podcast with Andy, it's almost like he's been on a podcast course. He's the leader of this podcast now. He's come back and he's thinking, do you know what? I'm doing back-to-back podcasts. Fuck you two. I'm the guy.
Is the CEO now of CookieCast. You'll listen to the start of this episode. It won't be Andy doing the introduction like normal. It'll be Tony.
Tony. Yep.
And, you know, would you like, I'd normally say thanks to Andy, but we haven't seen him in weeks. Send prayers.
The Rawson Cast Network being changed from Cookie.
The raw cookie. This is episode 1, season 4 of Straight to the Apex. I'm back in the driving seat, your host James Stainforth this week. My pit crew, even though Mark looks more like Fred Vasseur now than ever before, we've got Mark Wilkins and we've got Auntie. It's thrown me off because he's put Anthony and it's normally T-Dog or something. It's just Tony, T-Dog, sexy bastard. I'm not bulking, you are Rawson. How are we doing, lads?
Fantastic. Season 4. 4 years we've been at this shit.
Scary.
4 years. And we still can't get it right.
Yeah, and we've only wanted to kill each other at least twice. We've done all right.
I think we've done all right. We're all still here.
Can I speak? I dare speak, to be honest. I don't want to.
No, you can speak.
Sorry, you just left a very big, little bit too much of a pause at the start. So I was like, oh, crap, do I say something or not? So even though 5 seconds before we pressed record, you did say that, oh, yeah, I'm going to lead. But anyway, yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
Okay. A podcast professional straight away criticising my hosting skills here. He's like, oh, there was a slight 5-second delay there. You know, it's that can be quite harmful.
I feel like we're going to get a review, James. I mean, you're normally the one at the other end of the table, so this will be a new experience for you, being the big important manager you are. Like, I feel like we're getting reviewed by Tony. Maybe he's a spy for Andy. Maybe Andy's trained him up.
I have mentioned a few times now that I'm getting fed up of this and I'm going to start my own podcast called Fuck the Apex because you two clearly just forget to ever mention me whenever you go on anything else.
No.
Never.
And I think Tony just decided he's going to do it and he's going to launch it on this very episode in front of us as some kind of like Judas kiss.
As you're hosting.
Yeah, he's just going to halfway through you go, fuck the Apex, and all of a sudden that's it, he's gone.
Maybe wait to the interlude of this one, and you might hear it. You might hear the advert.
You take that over, right?
Hey, yeah, you. Yeah, you. Do you want to be a new podcast? Do you hit straight to the apex? Well, listen to Fuck the Apex with your new host, Anthony Rawson.
That's it. It's gone all professional. That's why it's not T-Dog. It's been all professional. Have you been poached? Have you been poached?
No.
Sky Sports want a replacement for Johnny Herbert, and they've seen you and aired you and thought, do you know what? You're the man.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. If Sky Sports approached us and went, look, can we have Tony? We'll give you Danica. I'll be like, you know what? No, I'm fine. You can have Tony, but I would rather put a rump steak from Lidl on the camera instead of Danica, because that would make more fucking sense.
It would.
And this is why we'll never make it to Sky Sports because of comments like this.
Fuck Danica.
Anyway.
I mean, some of us probably would, but...
Moving on swiftly. Swiftly move on.
Move on. Some opening in Hull this week. Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. Five Guys update, please. Right now. This is
leaving the gym this week has been one of the hardest horriblest experiences ever.
Is that traffic or actual
traffic around the car park is pretty bad. I mean, it literally, you guys know where the drive-through is, and it pretty much went around the perimeter of the car park last night.
Wow.
But the smell as you walk through the gym doors out, it's almost just enticing you. Come here. Come on.
It's the worst location for a gym now. It genuinely is. So for the two other people that listen to this that aren't us, you drive out of David Lloyd. You imagine you spent a good hour doing weight session. You've then done a good 25 to 30 minutes cardio on the bike or something like that. You've maybe gone for a sauna and a steam, maybe even a swim, feeling really revitalized, energetic, really healthy, looking forward to your kale smoothie. You get outside straight away, Five Guys. On the other side of the road, KFC. Next to that is Taco Bell with Dunkin' Donuts. There is then Domino's.
Yep.
Nando's.
Yep.
Wendy's.
Yep.
McDonald's.
Yep.
Then there's a pub.
Yep.
Which serves food.
Yep.
A Beefeater.
Yep.
Then there's a sports bar that serves food again.
Yep. Subway. Subway.
Oh, yeah. Subway.
Greg's.
Is it?
There's a Greg's. It's
and then there's a cinema as well. So you can like skip all that and just have the popcorn and watch a film. But
yeah,
fucking happen.
They've got you. I pay quite a lot of money for the privilege to walk out and be 2 minutes from any fast food you want after leaving the gym.
The thing is, as well, the people that go to that gym have probably got some disposable income. So,
well,
I don't know how, Mark, you can like stop the edge. I don't know how we do it. Because if it was me,
he hasn't. He's been to the gym every night this week.
All I'm going to say is at work, I get called Dink. That is my nickname. Dual income, no kids. So I am living the Dink life. Thank you.
Wow.
I like that.
I do like that as well.
Yeah.
Like that. As he sits there in his spare room with his brand new Ferrari jacket on.
Dink life. You know it.
I like that one. that is almost up there with Foreskin.
That's the title.
That's my favourite one.
That's the title of this episode.
What Foreskin? Please explain.
Yeah,
I don't know. When it gets hard.
You can have Dink. I'm using Foreskin tomorrow at work. Definitely. 100%.
I'm glad I missed that, to be honest. Anyway,
Formula One. Crazy.
Yeah, who knew? I mean, what we've been talking for about 5 minutes so far. We haven't thanked Andy. So thanks, Andy, as always, and Cookie Cast, and share the love, guys. So Formula One. How do I want to start this? Do we start with the live F1 event, or do we do what we kind of normally do and kind of touch on a bit of news? Or
Hey, you're leading. You do you. As
hey,
I always
you know
say.
what? Let's
You
go
do.
straight for the news.
Okay.
What do we got?
Absolutely nothing.
I've got something.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Last night was the first ever F1 live, and it's to celebrate F1 in 75 years. And it was fantastic. It was live from London in the O2.
Was it?
Did anyone watch it?
Can I just stop you there? Right. So, podcast 101, James just said, look, we're going to talk about F1 Live or the news. I'm going to speak about the news. So, your news was F1 Live. Right. I'm all confused. Are we doing news?
But there is no news. That is the only news.
Maybe James had some news.
He doesn't have any news. He's got no news.
Ferrari have gone out in the
Rubbish.
SF25.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton had his first taste of it today.
Did you see the crowd at the first bend? They had flares. It was mental.
Really?
Yeah, it was. There's a video on Twitter, or X as the young kids call it. Hamilton, Leclerc goes out first. Honestly, you can hear the roar of the crowd. There's that many people there, and then Hamilton goes out as well. Again, they're going mental. Flares are going off. They're cheering every lap they go by. Ferrari fans have seen. I mean, maybe it's getting more coverage because Lewis has gone there, but they seem to be on a different level already this year.
I was going to say there's a lot more excitement. There's a lot more buzz going around. And I know we're going to talk about the F1 live event and stuff like that, but they've made quite a lot of significant changes to the car. From what I've seen, they have extended the wheelbase. So the space between the cockpit and the front wheels are now longer, which increases aeros. Because of that, they've been able to change the radiator inlets to be slightly higher up so they can get more air intake. And they have changed their suspension. So if I remember rightly, they now have a pull rod at the front, which is exactly the same as what Red Bull and McLaren do, but they've also got a pull rod at the back. So they've increased their downforce for 2025 because obviously last year they were significantly the fastest on the slow turns. But then as a counter argument, there was one of the slowest on the faster turns, and that was when they struggled the most against Red Bull and McLaren. So they think that doing this will actually increase their downforce and should move most of the issues.
I also think that everything you've just said on that list is something that Lewis Hamilton looked for in a car. Because how many times did he moan that the Mercedes was too close onto the front tyres? They've moved them back.
Yeah.
That type of suspension is something Lewis has always had in his early McLaren days. Used to that. Mercedes went a different way. Didn't quite work. It's almost like Ferrari have gone, do you know what? All the chips, we're going all in on Lewis this year. All in.
And why the hell wouldn't you?
No, exactly. I don't disagree, yeah.
Right, sorry, Tony, I'm going to be the first one to use this word for this season of the podcast. If you are one of the most prestigious, thank you, prestigious constructors out there, you're a legacy. You genuinely are. And then you get one of the most prestigious drivers. There we go. That's three now. One of the best drivers to have ever sat in an F1 car, and they come to your team. You've then got the opportunity of potentially giving him his 8th championship. So then you can sit there and say, we had the 8th time world championship driver sit in our seat car. You've
also got the honour of saying you had Michael Schumacher, 7-time world champion, most championships, until Lewis, who then got the 8th World Championship, the most championships, 1 and 2, World Champions, Ferrari. I 100% agree. And do you know what? If he does win it, it'll shut a lot of people up about Lewis, because that'll be 3 different prestigious teams he's drove for and won a championship. No one else has done that. So it'll shut all these idiots up that say Lewis isn't as good as what they think he is. I mean, can I see it happening? I think a lot of things will have to go right. But yeah, I can. I can see it happening.
You'd like to think, because we already know they've made the most changes to the car out of all of the other constructors.
Mm.
Now, Red Bull wasn't great last year. I think what helped Red Bull, well, not Red Bull, but what helped Max towards the end of last season was just Max. I think he just got to the point of, you know what, guy, right, I'm going to fucking do this myself. Fuck you all. So I think for Max, it was his mentality that helped him through it. McLaren, I'm not going to take anything away from them guys. Them guys had a fucking amazing season. It was just that kind of made the wrong mistakes at the wrong time, unfortunately for them. Ferrari showed quite a lot of promise. You'd imagine, with this being the last season before the new regs come out, the new formula starts, most of the teams are just like, right, let's not bother too much on this one. Let's just focus on 2026.
Mm.
Whereas Ferrari's like, nah, fuck it, let's have a laugh. But we'll see. There's still testing to happen. There's everything else to go on. I mean, fucking hell, in a couple of weeks, guys, we might be doing a podcast after the testing and just going, yeah, they ain't doing shit.
Yeah, McLaren are too fast. Yeah.
I just to add my opinion on it all, I think the whole build up on social media of Lewis, it's all about Lewis and Ferrari, Lewis, and that's F1 wide and Ferrari specifically as well, especially the 7 windows of 1 door, potentially his 8th championship. He added millions onto the share price when he signed. It's massive. I completely agree with what you're saying, Mark. The best drivers in F1 history drove at Ferrari and won championships at Ferrari. And that only adds to the Ferrari brand of pure motoring excellence. And you can't mention motor racing without mentioning Ferrari, really, can you?
Nope.
So, yeah, everybody's dream to race in Ferrari. It feels, after watching a certain event that happened last night that we may have mentioned already, it really did feel like they have literally gone all in. All in.
Are we talking about the 40th anniversary special of EastEnders?
What?
No.
There was no other events last night, was it? Rovers didn't play? No.
Rovers
Tomorrow, live on Sky.
Live on Sky Sports.
Yeah.
1. All special sticks. So, yeah, I really want him to win. I think he can win. We'll have to look at practice. I think the only one thing that's stepping in his way is 1, McLaren, and 2, Charles Leclerc. I think there's going to be a few battles there.
Nah.
I think Charles as a character, and I may be wrong, because touching on again a certain event that happened last night, not EastEnders. Charles said on the stage, apparently at the launch, that it's his dream to be a world champion. That's what he's gunning for. Do I believe him? I think he's going to be a bit of an understudy this year. I think he's going to learn. Let's be honest, Charles Leclerc, what is the common thing we say about Charles Leclerc over a season? He's got
a prick.
100%.
Yeah.
So if he sits back this year and watches how a 7-time, possibly 8-time world champion goes about the season,
Should have been
like
9.
having, it's like having the best manager. You're learning from that best manager. You know, it's like me sitting under James at work and saying, just watch and learn. This is how a manager manages. Do you know what I mean? He'll learn every aspect of how Lewis approaches the season, how he's clinical, how he doesn't make mistakes, how, yes, he has bad races, but he can get points from that, how he attacks a full season and he doesn't just attack a race. So, might be a bit of a... Ferrari might have done it just to give Leclerc that little level up.
Possibly, I would agree. I think if Leclerc's got any sense, just take a back seat.
Yep.
And, learn from the best. Lewis ain't going to be around much longer.
No.
Leclerc is. If Leclerc wants to be a champion, you don't have to do it right now. You can do it in a couple of years' time. Even Ayrton Senna didn't get a championship for a couple of years at first. But, and yeah, I think the mistake he could make is if he tries too hard, he'll get in his own head because he'll be sitting there and thinking, I've got to beat Lewis Hamilton. I've got to beat Lewis Hamilton. And
smart team. He's coming. Smart team. I agree.
And he'll feel pushed out. So I think Charles Leclerc is going to be his own worst enemy at times.
Well, are they going to move Leclerc out the way in certain instances? How are they going to do this? I don't understand. He'll have to heal. And it'll be interesting. That's why the first few races are really interested and key to see what his behaviour is like. Like, okay, it's Monaco. And do they favour Charles or do they favour Lewis? If Lewis is winning the championship, or the championship is close.
Fred Vasseur is going to have a lot of pressure on his shoulders this year. A lot.
Yeah. And
I think you're right. What I've just said could be the difference between Leclerc winning one championship or multiple. If he does sit back, if he doesn't, and it creates a problem for Ferrari, then it's down to Fred Vasseur, and we know what Ferrari have been like in the past when it comes to decision making. So let's put it this way: there's a lot of question marks and interesting bits that could happen. I think it's going to make a really interesting season just on Ferrari. What they're going to do, how good they're going to be. If they are both dominant, what do they do? I think they've got a lot of pressure bringing Lewis in.
How do I word this question? Who's the better champion for the brand in their best interests for Ferrari? Who is the better one to win the championship?
Got to be Lewis at the moment.
It's got to be.
I know it was his home crowd at the O2 last night, but that reaction he got, it's Lewis. Yeah, it's Lewis. It's 100% Lewis.
Completely different as well. You look at anything you see of Lewis from the start of this year to the last couple, just his mannerisms.
You can't buy a cap. I tried to buy a cap last night and it's sold out. And if that's the way his merch is going to go, then...
Is it really?
Yeah, on the Puma website, it's just coming soon. So it's obviously sold out already.
But that's the thing. If you're looking at brand and stuff like Lewis Hamilton himself is a brand, and he walks to a team and he brings things like Tommy Hilfiger or Monster or Adidas or whatever, and it's like all he's done is walk through a fucking door.
Well, you've actually just reminded me of some news. You've actually just reminded me. Mercedes kit is no longer sponsored by Tommy Hilfiger. It's Adidas. Now, you've just mentioned them two brands, James. Is Adidas, yes, it's a massive name. Is it a step down from Tommy Hilfiger?
I would have said so.
And is that because Lewis has gone?
Yeah.
Tommy Hilfiger have gone, we're not dressing George Russell well because it's like dressing someone that's I'm not going to finish that sentence, but it's you can't dress up a Ted. So, like, Lewis Hamilton, Tommy Hilfiger, boom. George Russell, you're more like an Adidas man, mate.
But I think there's truth in the HP deal for Ferrari as well. I think they joined in last year. They knew Lewis was in the car. Obviously, the livery, we've seen it last night at a certain event that happened in the O2. It feels like they're the team to join. They're the prestigious ones. They're the ones with the energy. They're the ones with the. However, and we'll probably end it here. Let's see how the car drives in testing and the face, because it could all fall flat on its face.
You know what? You just made me think the same kind of thing by saying, because we are at the moment, we are very. Don't get me wrong. We was joking towards the end of last season. We were all Ferrari fans. We're going to learn the Italian national anthem and everything. Obviously, Tony's going to absolutely slaughter it, because then he can upset Italy as well as all the other countries he has. And today we are very heavy on Ferrari. The changes they've made, the merch that they're bringing in. Lewis is doing this, blah 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 blah, and that's actually quite scary as well, because they've got all this hype, all this attention, and everything else like that, and it could genuinely be a case of, as soon as Crofty shouts and it's lights out and away we go, you just see both cars splutter to a stop and smoke come billowing out the back of them, and then that's it. It's like, great.
Could you imagine first qualifying, the qualified 17th and 18th?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, Haas actually out qualify them.
Yeah. Could you? I mean, like you say, there's this big momentum behind Ferrari, and this is why the pressure is on Fred Vasseur so much, because it could. I mean, testing, you never know as fast. You can kind of pick up bits and listening to Ted and the experts, but they all play their own game, don't they? They all play games with each other and different weights and blah blah blah. That first quali is when it really kind of, right, let's go. If they're 17th and 18th, like you say, or even if the 12th and 11th, but Haas are 7th and 8th or whatever, they're in big trouble already.
Mm.
And we know, like I say, Ferrari have got a bit of kind of history with that. So it's making it very, very, very interesting already, because you've got that dynamic that McLaren are world champions, constructors were. Red Bull had this massive fall off a cliff. Adrian Newey is no longer there. We'll obviously talk about, we keep teasing it, but we'll talk about this event. There were some cars that looked stunning last night. Absolutely stunning. One of which is the cap that Tony's wearing. I honestly think Adrian Newey's been working on that car secretly, probably with a wig on and a baseball cap, because it looks stunning. And when they look stunning, they're genuinely fast.
It was the best one last night, wasn't it, Mark? It was the best. It was the best.
Best looking car, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of it. The Ferrari looks nice. The Ferrari did look nice.
Look nice.
Very nice.
I'm biting my tongue now, because I really want to rip into certain Canadians, but
I mean, I've got 4 points from last night's event, and one of them should have been, but it's not, the Canadian. You've just reminded me of the whole Lance Stroll.
I'm sorry. I've seen that bit. I saw them both come out with the helmets on. I saw Alonso take his helmet off, and I don't know what it is, but that guy just seems to get better looking the older he gets, and he just takes his helmet off, and it's like that kind of, whooshing the hair and stuff like that, and handsome guy, wind billowing his hair back. He's like, "Oh my god, he's so cute," blah blah blah, and then Stroll just takes his off. He's like, "Thank you."
It looked like a fan had won like a competition. to stand next to Fernando in the overalls. He did literally look like a deer in the headlights. Like, well, here's this young man that's won a competition. He's too old to actually be doing it because it should be a kid stood there. But here he's a driver. Oh shit. It's Lance Stroll.
And he wasn't. People weren't shaking his hand. He was shaking fans' hands.
I'm sure he got pied live on telly. I'm sure a fan had his hand out for Fernando, and I've not deleted it from our planner. I'm gonna watch it again. I'm sure a fan put his hand out for Fernando on the other side. Fernando turned away, and Lance looked at him, put his hand out, and the kid just went, "No." I'm sure. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'm sure it happened.
There was somebody who didn't have their hand out, and there was like 5 seats into the row, and Lance just like reached over and was like, and the guy like shook his hand like, fucking hell. And then the interview was even worse.
You're right. Lance went to shake people's hands just so he could go back and go, Daddy, people wanted to touch my hand. I did it.
Like, and then he got asked the question, and he was like, "Oh yeah, she's a beauty. Yeah, she's real nice. Look at her. She looks real good, doesn't she? In green. Yeah, I think we're gonna. Yeah, I think we're gonna be.
Who are you trying to upset now? Are you trying to upset
Canadians? Yeah, really. Everyone.
I mean, come on, what?
I mean, you sounded more like Jason Donovan had a stroke.
He has a bit of a twang.
No, you sounded like Steve Irwin after he'd been stung.
I don't think so. No, I disagree. Anyway,
wow.
Look, you've got to start season 4 strong.
I mean, we've started it something. Strong may not be the right word. Controversial and getting cancelled might be the words we're looking for.
It's been 12 years. It's fine.
Well, yeah, that's true.
He can't hear us.
It's difficult, Lance. It's
difficult. They have Spotify
till the end.
Steve, if your family listening, we apologise for that. I mean, they're probably not. I mean, they're definitely not.
That had nothing to do with me, by the way. That was all the imagination. The twisted imagination of our co-presenter leading today.
And this is why Tony's been leading for the last couple of weeks.
under the alias of Jimmy.
I'm quite
read into that as much as you want.
Next 5 minutes, feeling proud of myself, listening to you two, apologising profusely. Like,
no. I mean, are you going to watch the event, James? Are you going to go back and watch it?
I don't know. I've seen bits and bobs, and just the fact that Machine Gun Kelly's there, just no.
So, what was your thoughts on it, and Mark? I'm guessing you watched it.
I watched it. Jack Whitehall presenting was a bit of a weird one for me. I mean, I like Jack Whitehall. I've been seeing him, but it was a bit odd. Some of the jokes he said were very, very James-esque. Because the room just was like, ooh. My quick takeaways, and then we'll probably speak about it more after the break. Max not speaking was weird. Every driver spoke, apart from the 2 Red Bull drivers. So even Liam Lawson didn't speak. They didn't even get given a microphone, yet every other driver did. That was weird. The FIA getting booed was fucking hilarious.
And Christian Horner got booed.
Christian Horner getting a louder boo was even more funny because you could see that he was on the microphone and he was like, what the fuck do I do? Because I'm getting booed like a pantomime villain here. The funniest bit for me, and Tony, like I say, we'll talk about it the second half. The funniest bit for me is, you know, the theme tune for Formula One? Obviously, the D.
Yeah.
The DJ was on the stage playing his new single.
Yeah.
I think Tony knows where I'm going. played his new single, his new mix, and he's on his little machine twiddling his knobs with his like hand on his ear. Bum, 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 bum. It then pans to a car coming in the background, and two blokes just pick up the DJ kit and carry it off. Yeah, it wasn't plugged in.
But I knew that from the get-go. It was so shit. That bit was so shit, right? That was so shit that it clearly wasn't DJing. And I was looking for the wire, like a wire coming off it, and it looked like there was like underneath it.
Yeah.
But it was missing the beat. Like it was like two different. It was like watching a song and watching somebody like 5 seconds behind it. It was weird, and the way it was doing things as well. It was like nothing made sense. Like he'd twist something and hit a button, but the music would carry on playing. Like there was no choreography to what he was doing to the music. And his hair, what the fuck was all that about, man? Like, fucking hell, like shit.
It's literally like Andy putting this on YouTube with a bit of paper with our pictures on, putting it on, just talking, and the mouth not moving, and then at the end of it saying, "Yeah, that was live." It was fucking honestly, it was awful. But I think
flicking his hair, getting the crowd going. It was just like, what the fuck?
Honestly,
I'm going to try and find this bit.
Oh, please do. Literally,
like, honestly, it'll be so worth it, James.
Yeah,
honestly.
Right, wrap it up, James. We'll take a break. Go watch it. Get your reaction, part 2.
So yeah, if you haven't figured this out yet, here's a bombshell for you. F1 fan, didn't watch the F1 live event because I couldn't be asked. And tune back in for part 2 when we talk all about that for 45 minutes. I just wing it. See you soon, lads.
Bye-bye.
Hey, you. Yeah, you that's listening right now. Thanks very much for tuning into this episode of Straight to the Apex, the Formula One podcast from CookieCast. If you're enjoying this episode, why not like, share and subscribe? Whilst you're there, feel free to check out some of the other podcasts that CookieCast has to offer. If you like football, we've got a football podcast. NFL more your thing? Then the Laces Out podcast is for you. Maybe even a little bit of the wrestling. Just look for the Getting Over podcast on CookieCast. Maybe you want to listen to Andy's Darkest Timeline. It's there too. So, the F1 boys have probably got themselves a drink. It's time to get back to the action.
And we're back. And unfortunately, the last 7 minutes of my fucking life are never going to come back.
Why? What did you watch? Or what happened?
I decided that I would have a quick look at the F1 75 live event. I found out that the DJ was on the Alpine launch, and luckily you can go to chapter, so I went straight to the Alpine launch. Yeah.
I'm dreaming.
The only good thing about watching it now is that I can double tap the screen to skip it forward 10 seconds. Whereas when you're watching it live, like you two did last night, you had to endure the full thing.
No, I didn't watch it live. I recorded it and watched it an hour later, so I could fast forward quite a lot.
Oh, that's a good call.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I didn't watch. I mean, for one, I didn't realise what time it started, so I put it on at 9, and I think that was when I think that was Williams' launch, and they had the comedian I've forgotten his name. Oh no, it was Cash App. It was the Cash App launch. And it was him running around and just doing it, and I was sat there, I was like, oh God, no, if this is gonna go on for like 5 hours of like ridiculous comedy sketches before we see a car, I was like, nah.
I talked about going. I'm so
really?
Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't. I mean, the show even finished with Take That singing, and don't get me wrong, don't mind a bit of Take That. I'll admit Take That. Gary Barlow can no longer sing live. it was awful.
Really?
And also, it wasn't really in keeping with the night. Like, why is it that singing at that event?
Yeah, I do get that. I think you're being harsh there, Mark. I think it was nice. They sang their usual songs, and it was nice. It was nice. But Gary his family is on the other end of his career now, for sure. But I mean, I do understand that. What's the relevance to F1?
No, well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, Gary, it's sad for Gary because Gary can sing and he's a very good singer. He's not a good entertainer. He's very wooden on stage, stuff like that. So it was solely his voice. So if his voice is going a bit meh, that's a bit sad. But I don't get F1 and take that.
No.
If you're going to finish something like that, you get the remaining members of Fleetwood Mac to come out at the end and play the chain.
Why are you not in charge of marketing? Because that would have been tick, 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 tick. Like,
that would have just been full on, just all over.
Yeah. Tony, I've given my thoughts about the event. Before we delve into it, what was your thoughts?
I liked it. I loved it. It really got me like on the edge of my seat. Like, oh, here we go. Like, this is it. It was a bit weird. It was like Eurovision meets like motorsport meets like car show. It was a bit weird. I was wondering how they were going to do it, but I loved it. I thought it was really entertaining. I thought the way that they did everything and the videos and the acts, and I thought it was really intertwined. Don't know about what do you call him? Is it Jack? I don't know. I don't know if he fitted it or not. So I thought it'd be better with somebody a bit more like Keanu Reeves. But then I suppose it wouldn't really work. You need a bit of like laughter and whatnot. And I thought he did all right, to be honest. But
from what I've seen of it, if they did it again, I'd watch it because I do like the idea of it. All the cars being revealed at the same time, unless you're Haas and you decide to just like accidentally leak it on social media over the weekend and go, "Oops! Oh, quick, wipe it away! Oh, but no."
He's a bit silly. It's just a bit silly, and I think I just wanted somebody a bit more serious-ish.
I was going to say, get Clarkson on.
Yeah.
Or even better, get
that would have been an absolute fucking.
And Hammond, get all three of them.
Get some proper.
A lot of the world probably won't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, go on, Mark, say it.
Proper petrol heads.
Yes, because when Brundle was on, it was like at the end, it was amazing. It was just easy. It was authentic, really authentic. When you had these wishy-washy, like Munch or whatever the fuck he was called, and they were trying to make it funny because they were trying to fill in that authenticity. It was like, are you an F1 fan, or have you just been fucking paid to do this job? Like, it was a bit like naff. Like, but you've got to think it's what
comedian. I think 97% of his jokes was about Yuki's height.
Yeah,
me crack was great, but then they had really good people like, is it Ariana Bravo, Lawrence Barretto, and Laura Winter? So yeah, I mean, they did have the people there, but yeah, I didn't. Some of his jokes were really.
There's a lot of celebs there. Gordon Ramsay was there.
Yeah.
There was Chris Moyles. Obviously, he's a F1 fan now. Jerry Halliwell was there. You know, you could have been in the same room as her. She was sat not next to Christian.
Sometimes I am in the same room as her.
She just doesn't know it.
Just hiding in that.
What I did like, it just stops all the dates and all the fucking reveals and it all happens on one night. And it's an event. And I love
it's an
that.
event.
No messing about. And you get to see the history. You get to see the current ideas. You can get to see the art form of the racing and the team behind it. And you can take it wherever you want to go. And some people did it right.
Who was your favourite?
Like Aston Martin, man. Come on, fucking hell. I nearly shed a tear when that motherfucker finished. Oh, my God.
I haven't watched that yet. I'm going to watch that one because I know
I'm going to fucking ruin it for you right now. Basically, what happened...
Very Bond themed.
It just all went dark. It all went dark in the arena.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't go too in depth. Just an overview. So,
Bond theme mixed with they walk in suited and booted with elegance, class, just beauty, just absolutely oozes British fucking motorsport racing, like fucking creme de la creme. Like, we fucking run this motherfucker right now. Like, Lawrence's fucking green fingers have been through it all. And then there was a bit of singing, which I loved for many, many, many reasons. But we won't go into that because we don't want to ruin it. And then, a few questions at the end. The car looks absolutely fucking insane with a few accents, white accents on it. And then it was over. And then the worst one was the DJ. That was absolutely fucking shit.
So I don't need to watch the Aston Martin release now.
No, you do. You do. I haven't. You do. It was shed a tear.
Yeah, because I'm going to watch it. It's exactly what Tony fucking said it was.
No, because
I didn't fucking know you in the 90s. If I'm sitting there going, "Oh mate, I want to watch this film," Sixth Sense, like, "Oh right, yeah, it's really good." I won't tell you too much because I don't want to spoil it. But imagine you're dead the whole way through.
Have you? Have you ever seen? Is it Henri and Jamie Carragher in the Sky Sports studio? And I think it comes like there's some news. I can't remember what it was. And Henri like touches the knee of Jamie, and like everyone's shocked. It was like as soon as the Bond tube came on, I was just like, here we fucking go. Honestly. So yeah, Aston Martin was the best.
I'm going to go a bit slightly off topic here because James will probably watch the Super Bowl. I'm going to go full on off topic. Did you watch Super Bowl, James?
Most of it, yeah. I didn't watch it live, but yeah.
Did you watch the halftime show?
Oh yeah, baby.
I have watched the halftime show a few times. I have developed quite an obsession with a certain song by Kendrick Lamar, which is now gone onto my gym playlist.
Is it the Drake disc by any chance?
Yeah.
I am not a fan of Kendrick Lamar. However, I actually liked the halftime show more than I thought I would.
Wow.
Did you watch it, Tony?
Of course I fucking watched it. I watched it all the way up to middle of the third quarter, and I think I knew how it was going. So I thought, fuck, I think I've turned off just after another sack, and I thought, this is fucking shit. Like, and the halftime show was good. I enjoyed it. It was. He's a rapper, isn't he? He's a hip hop artist. He can't really do much else. Like, he just sang a few songs and that was it. There was a lot of conspiracy theorists and subliminal messages, which I don't know if I'll enjoyed.
There was a lot of metaphors in it, and there was a lot of little, because he apparently he does it quite a lot. He puts little messages in there, but I mean, actually going up there and singing with one of Drake's exes, and then 2 minutes later he's got another one of Drake's exes doing the crip walk,
which was a bit weird. Like the way the camera just cut to William's sister with a blue suit on, crip walking, but like staring at the camera, like proper staring at the camera. I was like, okay, hun, all right, it's you, and you're crip walking. This is cool, I suppose. And it was like the PlayStation. The whole set was like a PlayStation.
I quite liked that, and with Samuel L. Jackson, I quite liked that. I thought
what he was saying meant something.
The only reason I brought that up was because when you then look at the Red Bull launch with all the dancing, and then the fact that the dancers were like street dancing, and one of them touched Max Verstappen's shoulder. It was, I know, one of them.
Oh, fucking hell, that was the cringiest fucking match. I just remembered that.
Yeah.
And Max looked at him as if to say, "What the fuck are you doing touching
me? You do not touch me ever." And I know one of them was the Super Bowl halftime show, so I know that it's meant to be like creme de la creme. But it was just like chalk and cheese. Because, like you say, that dancing on the stage with Red Bull, it was like, holy fuck. Who has thought this looks good?
I didn't want to watch that one because I've seen highlights, and I've seen highlights of most of the reveals, and a lot of them it's just a quick video montage. Car comes out, stuff like that, and then they come out, and there was a massive crowd. It was like, oh, for fuck's sake! I mean, it's all, oh, look at us, oh, 4-time champion, 3-time fucking champion, dickhead. Oh, we've done all this. Oh, fucking, I haven't fingered half of my female staff. I'm a nice man. Don't boo me. All that bullshit. And I was like, no.
That didn't happen in F1 Live. No. And that didn't happen. I don't think that happened at all, to be honest. So
you're right. You are absolutely right. He did not go onto F1 Live and deny anything.
No.
I am not associated with the comments that man just made. Thank you.
Hi, Christian.
Mercedes were very Mercedes. They basically did a pit stop. I mean,
which was the shittest pit stop I've ever seen in my life, and that's pushing it because we've seen Kick Sauber for last season, but it's basically they got people that have never changed tires before, changed tires, and when they couldn't get the front right off, I couldn't believe it. Is that part of the act, or was that? Oh, this is weird. This is awkward. The car looks exactly the same.
What was your worst looking car?
The worst looking car, you know.
You know what? It's probably the Kick.
No.
I think it's a contender. Absolutely. I think it's between that and another one.
Alpine with the pink and blue is a bit weird.
I don't mind that.
Came out. It's like, yeah, that's just last year's.
But Mercedes looks like last year's.
Williams was nice.
Williams was nice.
Williams was nice. There weren't any dents or scratches yet.
No, it was made out of plastic.
Aletician as well. Interesting.
Never heard of them. Don't know what they do, but apparently it's a big sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, steak maybe. It's just black and a bit of green, isn't it? It's a bit. Carbon fiber.
I do like Cash Apps.
You see, that for me.
I don't know if it's more because they're the ones that seem to have made the most change to the livery.
You mean Visa Cash App
Racing? I think that was the worst car.
Really?
Because you know what it reminded me of? The bloody overalls that Red Bull wore. Was it to the Austrian Grand Prix when they looked like lederhosen? They were fully white with the brown on. The car looked like someone's seen them overalls and gone, should we do that on the car? Yeah. It was just weird being as white as it is. I don't know. I just thought, I'm not sure about that car.
But then I like the white, the green with the blue and white. I thought because of Cash App. I liked it with the Racing Bull though on the intake. I thought that was nice, very nice. Mercedes was boring.
Mercedes haven't changed.
Haas has switched the colours.
Haas made me laugh with their video.
Yeah.
Because everyone else going, Williams went on about their history. We've done this. We've had some of the best drivers in the world, fucking drivers, blah, 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 and all this.
I like that.
Haas look at us. We're the American team. and here's a couple of minute long video montage of our 10 years in F1, and I'm not being funny, it looked like it was just a montage of crashes.
I mean, the fact that they're celebrating 10 years in F1 and they show the Roman Grosjean crash about 3 times, that sums it up. That car is currently sat in a museum in London in a showcase in its bent out form.
Yeah, which I disagree with, but I voiced that on a previous episode.
Who was it? It was the country singer, wasn't it? That was he did the
Kane
video.
something.
I mean, I'm into a bit of American country at the minute. It's kind of a phase I'm going through, and I quite liked it. To be fair,
I did. I thought it was quite good. I like that. I enjoyed that.
Post Malone. That's all you need to say. Post Malone, Chris Stapleton, Morgan Waller.
Wow. What? Who is this guy? Where's his cowboy hat?
So the fuck are you?
What? You're not on board?
You know, but there's one team nobody's mentioned yet.
All right.
There's one team that nobody's mentioned.
McLaren.
Correct. What did you think of McLaren?
It was a very similar looking car to last year's, if I'm brutally honest.
I agree. And it wasn't really that special. Well, it was special, actually. They brought all the World Championship cars out, didn't they? Which, actually, I did think was quite good.
I'm going to say, I do remember seeing them, most of the cars out there with it.
Lewis Hamilton got a mention again with his winning car. They're the favourites as well. Lando's the favourite.
Oh, what was that?
What was that? Are you watching it live right? Are you watching it now, Mark?
No, I'm not. No.
During the podcast.
I had an advert on then. What was that? I did type F1 launch to see if I could see some pictures and some videos started playing. Do apologise to everyone for that.
I would have pissed if what we actually heard there was that little drum beat from the start of Pornhub.
Yeah, that would have been great.
What drum beat are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I'm going to say, to be honest, it's probably worse that two of us actually know exactly how that drum beat goes. Like, oh, interesting.
I've never heard it. Yeah, McLaren favourites. Well, let's see. The slow start. They always have a little slow start, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. I mean, yeah. And they still haven't got a title sponsor as well. Do they need one? Probably not.
They haven't got a title. No, they've got a shitload of little sponsors, haven't they? Yeah, I don't know. They've gone the other way, haven't they? Like, cover the car with as many sponsors as possible. I mean, they've got Google on there, haven't they? Google Chrome.
I'm going to say, yeah, it's just Chrome everywhere.
Yeah.
What did you think to the Ferrari white?
I like it. But then equally, I think I like the red and the black better. I think that's when the Ferrari looked its sexiest. But the white is very Michael Schumacher-esque. It's very old school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was I disappointed? I would like to see that Rothman's colour on the Williams. I did want to see a bit of yellow. But there is a little bit of yellow, just a tad, which I don't understand why. Just with their name, like a tag for their name, which I don't get.
Their car's a bit of a mismatch, isn't it? Because you've got the Duracell battery on the airbox, the blue, then the other sponsor, then like you say, a bit yellow. What did you think to Carlos Sainz in the colours of Williams? Obviously, Beth's a fan, probably.
She loved it. And I think he looks good in the white. I really do. Really, really do. I think this is going to be a turning point, I think, for them. Because if their car is as good as they say it is, then he is a good driver, hands down. There's nobody that disagrees that. So he is going to get the max potential out of this car, and that'll be interesting to see how they do.
I don't know. I agree. Great driver. I said it from last year. Ferrari was getting rid of the wrong driver, but at the same time, he's only there for a year.
Oh God, yeah.
And then he's going.
What caught me off guard was James Vowles just coming out almost like straight off the bat, just walks out with a fucking mic, like, yo, 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 motherfuckers. It's your boy.
Love it.
And I run the show.
He had a big chain on with a lowercase a.
Yeah. And a leather jacket.
Jeans. And he just like,
but I'm here with my boys, Carlos and Alex.
Say, Chris.
But couldn't take a selfie. Couldn't take a selfie at the end. Another awkward moment of the whole thing.
That was watching your granddad try and take a photo.
It's an interesting season for Albon. Bit like we've said with Leclerc and Hamilton. Albon's under a bit of pressure in here because, again, I mean, Sainz is fully expected to wipe the floor with him. If he wipes the floor with him, everyone's just going to go, Red Bull were right, Albon average. Albon actually outperforms Sainz. What does that do to Sainz stock? Like you say, essentially he's only there a year, although he signed a multiple year deal apparently. But let's be honest, he's probably got to get out. Someone's phone's going off.
Hang on.
Oh, it's James, breaking news. There we go.
I mean, conveniently, it's gone off. What did you do, James?
Sorry, guys.
I know exactly what he did.
Paused his video.
No, I won't go that way, but I was going to say he delegated. He just fucking sent it. He rang, just messaged that motherfucker back and said, "Don't you fucking dare message me during my podcast."
No. I know what he's done. We've said to him in the interval, go watch the video. And he's gone, I ain't fucking watching it. Oh, you. Watch video. Send me a report of what happened. And that's what's come through. We've got.
Makes fucking sense now.
Yeah, it's all coming together.
It's not Gemini and it's not fucking ChatGPT.
No.
One of his fucking minions. He just says, watch this. Tell me. Summarize this in 2 sentences or I'm going to fucking sack you, motherfucker.
James Stainforth, Management 101. Some fucker do my job for me, you pricks.
Yeah.
Wait until I fucking see you in the office tomorrow. I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah. Right now, his staff are listening because he makes them listen and they're all going, these two know what we have to put up with at work. Oh,
God. Jesus.
I call it the Christian Horner method.
No. I know and respect Charlie too much. I'm not going to say that. No.
You mean an award-winning team? Yes, correct. But anything else, absolutely not. Moving on.
I'm not.
I like the nod. No, I'm going to keep talking. I like the nod to an F1 Academy, F3, F2, and also the new film that's coming out soon as well.
The trailer, very, very good. It was an extended trailer, James. That'll be in your report from your minion. It was an extended trailer.
So there'll be a disciplinary tomorrow now.
Oh, God. They also spoke about how it was filmed, what they did. Obviously, they talked about Maverick and the camera tricks in that. They've gone a bit further. I'm actually really, really excited about the film.
They've got to get this right. There's a lot of pressure as well. I'm a bit apprehensive because they've got to nail this straight off the bat. It's now or never. If they fuck this up, then we have to live as F1 fans for the rest of our life with, do you remember that shit film that they brought out about F1?
I mean, the Niki Lauda James Hunt film was good.
Yeah, good.
That was very good. I mean, obviously, we're not long away from Drive to Survive.
Yes. Is that in the next few days or next week?
don't think it's long. I don't. It hasn't come up on my Netflix as like a coming soon thing yet, but I seem to remember seeing something.
Racing it, I think.
Mm.
So yeah, it'll be either next week or week after at the latest.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, I think that's. Can't think of anything else.
No.
No.
Oh, no.
So in that case, then, lads, you two will be happy now because it means that I've got less chance to actually say anything offensive. But I have still got 6 minutes and 55 seconds. So here we go with James's 5-minute tirade.
Andy, cut us off now. Bye-bye.
Just get that BBC test card up of the little girl playing noughts and crosses with the dog. And a little comment going, "We'll be back. Sorry for technical difficulties." Nah, I'll be good. I've still got a good 26 episodes where I can say something.
I mean, we've been borderline tonight. We've been there's been some borderline. Tony's had to take the reins off you a little bit. There's been some questionable moments.
I mean, you should be proud because I actually stopped myself at one point and I said, no, I'm not going to go there.
That's growth. It's called growth.
Yeah.
Well done, you. Andy, he's learning. He knows the line and he stops himself. That I applaud.
I mean, if we're talking about lines, Andy did pretty much say to us in a WhatsApp message.
Oh, okay.
Thank God. So, this season's going to be fun.
Well, season 4 has started well.
So yeah, guys, I think we are good. So, as always, everyone, leave a like, subscribe. If you ever see Andy, wherever you're in his neck of the woods, give him a pat on the back and say, "I'm really glad you still put up with them three." Don't know why they're still there, but yep, keep it going. Chase that guy jogging down the street on the other side of the road, pin him down, stick your AirPods into his ears, and make him listen to it. It's not waterboarding, it's fine. So don't cringe there, Mark. But yeah, as always, massive thanks to Andy and the crew from CookieCast for, again, putting up with us, supporting us, everything else. Thanks to Mark, thanks to Tony or Anthony or whatever the hell he wants to call himself this season. I mean, I don't know. Just watching him sometimes in these episodes is quite entertaining as it is. But yeah, share the love, everyone.
I had to change it because what happened, an unfortunate thing happened once, is that I use this laptop for work as well. So, and then one meeting, I accidentally logged in as T-Dog with a background of F1 car. And it was to a lot of important people across the UK. So I'm not taking any chances now. I'm not taking any chances.
So this tell me it was a straight to the Apex background.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah. We had Santander. We had all the big names. And yeah, I mean, it was terrible. Absolutely. Couldn't change it. Had to log out. Had to be that guy. Log out.
Just
and then log back in. Log back in eventually, and then they had me eat my breakfast for 5 minutes.
Well,
so yeah,
let's be honest. Regular listeners to this podcast have heard you eat pretty much everything. So we're used to it.
If we talk about you being quite regular, did you also shit yourself on that?
Well, I came very close. Let's just say that. Very close. It's not a podcast unless it's not a meeting without shitting yourself in front of somebody. So
season 4, we're still talking about.
You just got to do it once. And then you get out of the way.
Right.
Okay.
On that we shall go. Lads, pleasure as always. Speak to you all again soon.
See you later.
So there you go. First one done. New season started. Away we go. Big thank you to the guys. Big thank you to you, the listener, the watcher, the member of the CookieCast crew for enjoying this Formula One podcast. And before you leave us, maybe you want to click that like, subscribe if you haven't already, share the podcast around, leave us a review, say this is actually the best podcast ever. Check out the website, thecookiecast.com. There we've got social media links and an email button, and that way you can get in touch with us. That's it. That's it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then.
How awesome is that? So awesome. You gotta like, share and subscribe.